Hare Krishna. Om Gyanti Timirandasya Gna Gna Shalakya Chakshurum Litamina Tasmai Shiguruven Maha. Shri Chaitanya Manobistam Stapitmen the Bule Swampakadama Hyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shiguru Shutpadakamalam Shigurun Vishevamscha Shrupam Sakajtam Sakandaragunatam Vitantam Sachivam Sadvaitam Savdut Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shirada Krishna Padasahagnaolita Shivishakan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Vrishpan Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Hare Krishna. Now I will again try to sing the Pranam Mantra of His Divine Grace, Abhijana Ravrinda Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and of his Guru, of his Diksha Guru, Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakura Prabhupada, the son of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura, and then the Panchatattva mantra, which is glorification of Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his eternal associates in Gaura Lila. And then the Maha Mantra. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskatya Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Madhava Jaya Radha Gopinatha Jaya Radha Gokulananda Jaya Radha Jai Shri Radha Jaya Radha Gopinatha Jaya Radha Gokulananda Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Jai Shri Radha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Giri Varadari Jaya Yashoda Nandana Jaya Braja Jana Ranjana Jaya Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Giri Varadari Jaya Yashoda Nandana Jaya Braja Jana Ranjana Jaya Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Now, sorry. Now I will continue to read from Bhagavat-Gita. Yesterday was Bhagavat-Gita Jayanti, the day when Bhagavat-Gita was born. So yesterday we began to read from Bhagavat-Gita the main verses from Bhagavat-Gita, not all the verses. Of course, every verse from Bhagavat-Gita is very important. No any doubt in that. Just these verses were selected from Maharaj. So I just tried to read from there and tried to sing these verses because I wanted to glorify Bhagavad Gita. So I wanted to try to glorify Bhagavad Gita. Just I want to find the file. Just a moment. It was opened. Ah, yes, here it is. Yes. So I have reached I have reached chapter 3 yesterday. We have reached chapter 3 and we continue now with chapter 3, verse 3:5 and 3:9. I first try to sing them and then read the translation in English. This Maharaj has translated it in English.
Na kaśchit shanamapi
Jatuti statiha karma
krit karyate hiyavasa
karma safa prakriti jargunai
yanatut karma nonyatra
lokoyam karma bandana tadartam karma kaunteya mukta saga samachara. So let us see just a moment where I am. Just a moment. Let us see. This here. Just a moment. Okay. So let us read now the translation in English from the Maharaj. These were verses 3:5 and 3:9 from Bhagavat-Gita. Everyone is forced to act helplessly according to the qualities he has acquired from the modes of material nature. Therefore, no one can refrain from doing something, not even for a moment. So we all the time we have to do something. We cannot not do anything. It's just like this in this life. So the next verse 3:9. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed, otherwise work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, and in that way you will always remain free from bondage. So the next verse, the next two verses, 3:13 and 3:14.
yagnya shishtasina santo
Muciyate sarvakipsiya
punjate tvaham baba yapajanti makarana anad bhavanti
Bhutani Pajanyat
anasamhava
Yajna Bhavati Pajaniyo
yagna karma
Samupava. Translation Verse 3:13. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. Verse 3:14. Translation All living bodies subsist on food grains, which are produced from rains. Rains are produced by performance of yagya, sacrifice, And Yaga is born of prescribed duties. So the next two verses, 321 and 327.
Yadyata charati
Shrestastata
evitarujana sapramadkurute lokastata vartate prakrimanani gonya karmani sarvesha Vimodatma karta iti maniyate.
Translation. Verse 321. Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow, and whatever standards this person, this great man, sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues and follows these acts and imitates also these great men. Okay, the next verse 327 translation. The spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of false ego, thinks himself or herself the doer of activities that are in there are actually carried out by the three modes of material nature. The next two verses, 330 and 333.
Mai sarvani karmani sanyasadhyatmachitasya nirasirne mama bhutva yogyasya vikatachvarya.
This was verse 330. Therefore, O Arjuna, surrendering all your works unto me with full knowledge of me, without desires for profit, with no claims to proprietorship, and free from lethargy, faith. So Krishna says to Arjuna, faith. Yes, this is the duty of Arjuna. He is a soldier, a kshatriya. So the next verses 333 and 337.
Sadrisha
Chistate svasyaha prakrite
janayavan api prakriti bhutane nigraha kim karisyate.
Shri Bhagavan-uvacha
Kamaesha Krodaesha Rajaguna Sambhava Maheshana
Mahapapma Vidyenamiha Varina. So verses 333 and 337. Translation. Even a man of knowledge acts according to his own nature, for everyone follows the nature he has acquired from the three modes. What can repression accomplish? The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "It is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion, and later transformed into wrath, and which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world." Yes, here Krishna describes this um, mm, consequence of feelings which usually the mm, persons really um, can follow um, lust and uh, wrath and so on. Uh, and the last time I said, and this is obvious, that this is not true for pure devotees. Pure devotees of the Lord are not in um, that matrix. They are not in that scheme. They are not in that model. Um, Shrimati Radhika, the gopis of Vrindavan, Narada Muni, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura, Srila Prabhupada, and all the other persons who are pure devotees are not in that model. Um, they, for them, this is not true. What is explained in this verse? Okay, the next verse 338 and 3. The next two verses 338 and 339.
Dumetanavriyate
Vahniryatarisho
Malena cha yatopinavrito Tatate nedamavrita
avritam gyana
etena gyanina
nityavarina
kama rupena
kautenya duspurena lena cha. Translation of these two verses 338 and 339 from Bhagavat-Gita. As fire is covered by smoke, as a mirror is covered by dust, or as the embryo is covered by the womb, the living entity is similarly covered by different degrees of this lust. This is the wise living entity's pure consciousness becomes covered. So this the wise living entity's pure consciousness becomes covered by his eternal enemy in the form of lust, which is never satisfied and which burns like fire. So, as I said, this is of course true for this world, but this is not true for pure devotees. For pure devotees, this explanation is not guilty. It's not. It's not true. Yes, the next verse 342. The next two. Okay, the next verse. Next verse is 342.
Indriyani parani ahurindriyani para manaha
Manasastu para Buddhi Yobudhi para tu saha. Translation: the working senses are superior to dull matter. Mind is higher than the senses. Intelligence is still higher than the mind, and he, she, the soul. So he or she, I don't know, but the soul maybe does not have gender, so we cannot say the soul is he. Also, we cannot say the soul is she. The soul is soul. It is, uh, yes, it is just the soul. It, um, so and the soul is even higher than the intelligence. So I will read it again. This is verse 342 from Bhagavat-Gita, the translation. The working senses are superior to dull matter, mind is higher than the senses, intelligence is higher than the mind, and the soul is higher than the intelligence. The soul is even higher than the intelligence. The next verse, 343.
Evam Buddha Param Buddha Samstavyat Mahana
Atmena Jahi
Satru Mahava Kamaha Rupaha Durasada.
Translation from the Maharaj. Thus, knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses, mind and intelligence. O mighty armed Arjuna, one should steady the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence, Krishna consciousness, and thus by spiritual strength conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust. And as I said already many times, this is absolutely true for this world, for for the persons, for us, for the persons who are living in this world. This is true, of course, but it is not true for pure devotees. For pure devotees, this is not the case. Okay, the next one. Now the Maharaj have selected uh, the next verse to be from chapter 4 already, so we are already in chapter 4. Jnana Yoga. Chapter 4, verse 4:1 from Bhagavad Gita.
Shri Bhagavan-Vacha Ima Vivasvata Yogam Praktava Aham Avyaya Vivasva Manave Praha Manorikshvaka Vibravi.
Translation. The personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vivasvan. And Vivasvan, the sun god, and Vivasvan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvaku. Verses 4:2 and 4:3. So chapter 4, Bhagavad Gita, verses 2 and 3. I will try to sing them as next.
Evam Parampara
Pratam
Imam Rajasvaya Vidu Sakalini Hamahata Yogo Nashta Parantapa Sarvayamayati Yoga Prokta Puratana Bhakto Sime Saka Cheto Rahasyam Hiheta Tutamamu.
Okay. Translation. Verse 4:2. The supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore as the science as it is appears to be lost. Verse 4:3. Translation. That very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is today told by me, and you, because you are my devotee as well as my friend, and can therefore understand the transcendental mystery of this science. So that's why Krishna explains this to Arjuna, because Arjuna is, as the Lord himself says, a devotee of the Lord and a friend of the Lord. So Krishna decided to explain this all to him. The next verses 4, 6, and 4, 7.
Ajopi sanavyayatma bhutana Ishvarapi prakriti swamadhishtaya sambhavami
Atma Maya Yadayatahi Dharmasa.
Lanir bhavati bharata Amyutanamadarmasya Tatmana Srityamiyaha.
Translation of verse 4, 6. Bhagavat-Gita. Although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all living entities, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. Verse 4, 7. Translation. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself, says Lord Krishna. Okay, the next two verses are 4:8 and 4:9.
Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya chatuskrita dharma samstapanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge janma karma cha mediya evam yoveti tattva Tyagvadeyam Punarjanma Naiti Mameti Sarjuna.
So I will again try the last one.
Janma Karma Chamedivya Evam Yoveti Tatvata Tyagvadeyam Punarjanma Naiti Mameti Sarjuna.
Yes, verse 4:8. Translation. To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion. I myself appear millennium after millennium. Verse 4:9. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. The next verses are 4:11 and 4:13.
Yeyatamam prapadyante tam stadeva bhajamiham mamavat manovartante manushyapartha sarvasya chaturvarnya mayastrita gunakarma vibhagasa tasya kartaramabhima vidiyaka taramavyaya.
Translation of verses 4:11 and 4:13. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Purta. According to the three modes of material nature and the work associated with them, the four divisions of human society are created by me. And although I am the creator of this system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable. The next two verses, well, the next verse is 4:24.
Brahma Brahmarpanam Brahmahavi Brahmagno Brahmanahut Brahmaivate Nagantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina.
Translation: a person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness is sure to attain the spiritual kingdom because of his full contribution to spiritual activities, in which the consummation is absolute and that which is offered is of the same spiritual nature. The next verse 4:34. No, it's not exactly the next, but after 10 verses. So the next here is 4:34.
Tadvidi Pranipatena Pariprasnena Seva Upadekshanti Te Gyana Gyanina Sattvadarshina Yajnatva Napunar
Mohameva Myasyashi
Pandava
Yena Bhutani Shashisha
Drakshashi
Atmani Atomai. So these were two verses now, verses 4:34 and 4:35. I will read now the translation. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized soul, you will never fall again into such illusion. For by this knowledge you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme, or in other words, that they are mine. So the Lord says, they are mine. All living beings, they are actually property of the Lord. The Lord says for all living entities, they are mine. Okay, the last verse. So the last verse selected from chapter 4 is verse 440.
Agnyastastaudantanascha samsyatma vinashanti nayam
Lokostina para nasuka
samsayatmana.
So I will try to sing it again. It was not so good.
Agnyastastaudantanascha samsyatma vinashanti nayam lokoshtina par nasukam samsayatmana.
Translation of verse 440 from Bhagavat-Gita. But ignorant and faithless persons who doubt the revealed scriptures do not attain God consciousness. They fall down, for the doubting soul there is happiness neither in this world nor in the next. So we see here doubt does not lead to any success, not in the material world, not in the spiritual world. Just it's like one sees um, a couple of paths and one does not go any path and one just stays and thinks, well, I don't believe in any path, and one just stays in one place. This one does not develop at all because one doubts. So you see now it's not really a good decision to um, just stay and not develop further. Uh, of course, there are cases when we have time for doubting and for thinking. Of course, also there are such cases one has time just to think about where to go and so on. Yes, we all know it's like this. So no any stress. Let's see here. Now begins chapter 5 already. The Maharaj have selected verses from every chapter. So we begin now with verse 5 already. These are verses 5, 18 and 5:22.
Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmane Gavihastine Sunicheva Pakecha Pandita Samadashina Yehi Sansparsa Abugadagayunaya Evate Adintavante Kanteya Natesu Ramate Buddha.
Verses 5, 18 and 5:22. Translation. The humble sages, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater are outcast. An intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery, which are due to contact with the material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end, and so the wise man does not delight in them. So, yes, another verse from chapter 5, just a moment. So the last verse selected from chapter 5 is verse 529.
Bóg terem jagna pasa sarva loka maheshvara suhridam sarva bhutana natva mam santim richati.
Translation: a person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the Supreme Lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. So, and the next is chapter 6. I will continue with chapter 6 the next time. So, of course, as we see, the Lord is actually everything is done for the Lord. All the sacrifices, um, everything is done for the Lord. And in His great mercy, the Lord has given us His name, as explained especially in verses 1 and 2 of Sri Sri Shikshastaka. As you all know, the Lord Krishna, from whom we heard now how he's speaking with Arjuna just before the battle in Kurukshetra, where all the other soldiers also hear, um, and from great distance, Sanjaya and the king also hear. Um, that same Lord Krishna, the highest personality of Godhead, he has come in the 16th century as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he has spoken Sri Sri Shikshastaka. And in every verse of Sri Sri Shikshastaka, he expresses his heart, the feelings of his heart, and this is the mood of separation of a pure devotee from Krishna. This is a crying of a pure devotee in separation from Krishna, and at the same time, the mood of Shrimati Radhika, who feels separation from Krishna when he has gone to Mathura. And and as Shrimati Radhika is the topmost pure devotee, as stated in verse 10 of Sri Upadeshamrita of Srila Rupa Goswami, in every verse of Sri Shikshastaka, the love of Shrimati Radhika to Krishna is expressed, and also the mood of separation of a pure devotee from Krishna. In verse 1, for example, yes, and the love of Shrimati Radhika to Krishna is the highest love in all the worlds, and in all the times. This is Modunakya Mahabhava, the highest love. So let us see, for example, verse 1. Yes, I wanted also to say that in every verse, yes, is expressed this love of Shrimati Radhika to Shri Krishna, and especially the separation of Shrimati Radhika from Shri Krishna when he has gone to Mathura, and also the mood of separation from Lord Shri Krishna of every other pure devotee. So Shrimati Radhika is the topmost pure devotee, and there are also other pure devotees. The gopis of Vrindavan, Narada Muni, um, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura, Srila Prabhupada, and many others personalities are also pure devotees. So the commentaries of pure devotees, like for example Narada Muni on Sri Shikshastaka, must be very interesting because they will say the truth, because Sri Shikshastaka expresses exactly the mood of a pure devotee in separation from Krishna. So later I will again read from the commentaries of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura on the second verse of Shri Shikshastakam. Now let us just repeat the verse 1 of Shri Shikshastakam. Chetudarpana Marjanam Bhava Mahatvagnirvapanam Shekadra Kravchandrika Vitarna Vidyafatujivnam Ananda Buddhivardna Pratipadam Purnamritasvadanam Sarvatasna Parampara Vajite Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Chetudarpana Marjanam Bhava Mahatvagnirvapanam Shekadra Chandrika Vitarna Vidyavatujivnam Ananda Buddhivardna Pratipadam Purnamritasvadanam Sarvapasna Param Vajate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. So the chanting, the saying, the singing of the holy names of the Lord um, cleanses the mirror of the heart. It extinguishes the fire of material existence. It enables the cooling no, just a moment. It enables the white lotus of good fortune for the soul to blossom. It is the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. It is the life and soul of the spiritual knowledge. So we see here how the chanting, the singing, the saying, the holy names of the Lord, and the spiritual knowledge are compared with two partners. They are always together. One Vadu is a wife, so a wife can be the life and soul of the husband, or the husband can be the life and soul of the wife, or both of them are the life and soul to each other. So, in other words, two partners in living relationship, they are life and soul for each other. So the chanting, the singing, the saying, the holy names of the Lord and the spiritual knowledge, they go always together like partners in living relationship. They are always together. So further what is said, Ananda Buddhivarna Partipana Paramita Svadanam. The chanting of the holy names of the Lord spreads the of ocean of spiritual bliss. типа на Purnamrita Swadhanam. It enables us to taste pure nectar at every step. Purna means complete, so complete nectar, complete or pure. I don't know if there is some difference. I don't know, but how exactly should be translated? Maybe as Purna means complete, maybe better to say complete nectar, but pure nectar is also nice. So the chanting of the holy names of the Lord enables us to taste pure, complete nectar at every step. Sarvatpasna Paramparam Vijita Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. The chanting of the holy names of the Lord purifies the body from inside and from outside. It cleanses the determination of the soul and it cleanses the nature of the soul. So it cleanses the body from inside and outside. It cleanses the nature of the soul and it cleanses the determination of the soul. Paramvajita Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Let it be completely glorious, completely victorious, the chanting, the singing, the saying, the holy names of the Lord. So we see how the Lord has given to us these beautiful holy names of Him, which help us in such a wonderful way. And now the verse 2. And after that I will read further the commentaries of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura, who is also one of the pure devotees, on verse 2. Verse 2 Shri Shikshastaka. Nanama Kadi Bahudan Jashava Shaktis, Tatarapita Nyamate Smarana Nakawa, Etadristava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi, Turdaivam Chiditisham Tachanin Nuragha. Namama Kadi Bahudan Jashava Shaktis, Tatarapita Nyamate Smarana Kala, sorry. Tadristava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi, Turdaivam Chiditisham Tachanin Nuragha. So, Namakadi Bahudan Jashava Shakti, Satrapita Nyamate Smarana Kala, Etadristava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi, Durvaivam iti dasham tachanin nuragha. O Lord, in your incomparable and undescribable and um, un, un, unlimited mercy and causeless mercy, you, O Lord, have given to us your holy names. There are different names of you, O Lord, like Krishna, Govinda, Madhava, and many other names of the Lord exist. And you, O Lord, you have given us in your incomparable, limitless mercy all these names of you. And every name has its mercy, its energy, its Shakti, particular Shakti, or maybe more than one type of Shakti and energy connected with every name. And the persons who say these names, who sing these names, who chant these names, and these persons who hear them also, they get these blessings, they get this power, this Shakti come to them. So in this uncomparable and limitless, incomparable and limitless mercy, O Lord, you have given to us all that. And also in your great limitless mercy, O Lord, you have done it in this way that we can chant, we can sing, we can say your names in every time, at day or night, and everybody can chant, sing, say your names, O Lord. No any restriction. Everybody can do this. One does not have to be Brahmana, priest. One does not have to be pure. At every place, one can chant the holy names of the Lord. No any restrictions. So, O Lord, you have given this to us. You have given this to us in your limitless mercy. And then further it is said, sorry, in verse 2, but oh my Lord, my misfortune is that I don't have taste for chanting, for singing, for saying your holy names. So we see here how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is showing to us how a pure devotee thinks. A pure devotee is very humble. A pure devotee always thinks that every other person is better than him or her. So very how to say naturally the pure devotees are in this way. They don't imitate anybody. In their nature they are just like this. So the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is showing to us how a pure devotee thinks. And he's showing to us how we should also try to think. Of course, we cannot imitate the pure devotees, but we should at least know how the nature the pure devotee is. So, and also in the case of Srimati Radhika, who actually also says these words, because in the heart of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also the mood of Srimati Radhika, who feels separation from Krishna, as Srimati Radhika is the topmost pure devotee. So in her case, she thinks, oh, I everybody else loves Krishna more than me. She loves him. Srimati Radhika loves Krishna more than everybody else, but she thinks that everybody else is better than her, everybody else is better devoted than her, and everybody else loves Krishna better than her. Because she thinks that if she is saying his names, that then as she feels separation, she feels also pain. So that's why it could be that she says that she does not have attraction for chanting the holy name of the Lord because she feels so much separation from the Lord. So when she says the name of the beloved, she feels so much pain and separation because she loves him so much. So let's now continue to read the commentaries of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura on the second verse of Shri Shikshastakam. So again here Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he comments the second verse of Shri Shikshastakam, again he citates a verse, some verses from Antya Lila. So Antya Lila 20:17 to 19.
Anekalokera vanchanika prakara kripate kari amekanamara prachan kaite suite yatyatatanamala kaladeshaniyam na sarvasiddhya sarvashakti namadila kariya viva amara doidaiva name nahi anuraga.
Translation: those who are distracted from the Lord, being bound by the illusory energy, have innumerable desires for sense enjoyment in their hearts. Therefore, they are cheated and deprived of their constitutional occupation, which is to engage in Bhagavat Bhakti. The Supreme Lord is very merciful. Moved by great compassion, He has manifested His many names, and in the vibration of such names, He has not imposed any restriction in regard to time, place, or person. Even by chanting the holy name of Sri Krishna at the time of eating, drinking, sleeping, all perfection is attained. Alas, Krishna has invested all his potencies in his holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have not even the slightest attachment for them. So again he recitated Shikshastaka Song 2 from Gita Valley. I will also try to sing it and then read the translation.
Tun hidaya sagar tarayte prani namane katuya sakala shakati te name toha granera kale
Nahi kala vichar
Shri Nama Chintamani Tori Samana Vishwavilali Karuna Nidana Tuya Daya
Aichana Paramaudara
Atisaya
Mandanata Bhagamara
Nahi Jamala
Name Anuragamora
Bhakti Vinodachita
Duke Vibora. Translation: O ocean of mercy, Shri Krishna, you have manifested your innumerable names in this world, just to deliver the living entities from the ocean of material existence. Out of your kindness, you have invested all the potencies of your respective transcendental forms into those names. In the chanting of the holy name, you have not placed any restrictions regarding time, place, or other considerations at any time, in any place, under any circumstance. The practicing devotee can perform japa, kirtana, or smarana of the holy name, like your transcendental form. The holy name is eternal, fully cognizant, and spiritually blissful, Satchit Ananda, and it is superior even to Chintamani, touchstone. You have distributed this touchstone like holy name throughout the entire world. This is the topmost display of your mercy. On the one hand, your mercy is extremely generous and beyond compare. Yet my misfortune is very great, for I have not even the slightest attraction towards the magnanimous name of Sri Krishna. Therefore, Bhaktivinoda says, my heart is overwhelmed with sadness. What shall I do? O Lord, now I am simply waiting expectantly upon your causeless mercy. So we see how the pure devotee Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura explains the second verse of Sri Shikshastakam. Um, and as every verse of Sri Shikshastakam expresses the crying of a pure devotee in separation from Krishna, we can be sure that the explanations of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura are really true, true medicine for our souls, because um, he knows what he's talking about. He's one of those pure devotees whose feelings are expressed in every verse of Sri Shikshastakam. But of course, it's not like that. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the other pure devotees don't have attraction for the holy name. No, they just are humble. The pure devotees are very humble. That's why they um, say they don't have attraction for the chanting of the holy name. They just teach us how a pure devotee thinks. So now I will come to an end. As you all know, I'm not qualified on such topics like Vedic literature, so or comments on Vedic literature. So if I try to say something, this is uh, I'm not trying to instruct anybody. I'm just only trying to understand it. Of course, one have to try to understand the Vedic literature under the guidance of teachers, under the guidance of Diksha Guru and Shiksha Gurus. All of you who are devotees, all of you who are Vaishnavas, all of you, you are my gurus. You are my teachers, you are my gurus. I pay obeisances to you, Dandavat Pranam. Vanchakalpatarupascha Kripasnukubevcha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Thank you so much for your attention. All the best.